Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is. With our hearts uncovered, where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. When them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yup. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can't be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's so hard to reflect on all the Jews life taught you. It's on you, tell the truth.
Hey everybody, I'm Kimberly with Unseen Twisted Truth, and we are the People's Podcast. If you support you, we'll support you. Love and unity. Henry, there is a little bit of a fan noise. See if you can go to your settings and remove the background noises. You click.
We good on my end? Can you guys hear me? Check.
Yes.
Hey, what's up,
Henry.
Doing good, everyone. Hope everyone's having a.
Yeah, most definitely.
I hear it.
I think I fixed it, Henry. How's that? Yeah, there you go. I think I fixed it. Can you hear us? Oh no.
Good.
Now there's an echo.
It's just huh? Let me see. How about now?
Is there an echo? Testing. There's an echo.
There is?
Yeah.
Wow, shit drives me crazy. I just want to talk into this thing. It's already hard to talk on a podcast.
How about now? Echo. How about now? No echo.
No?
Oh, no echo, no ear, no air. All right, we got it.
All right,
there you go.
Good.
So anyway, tonight's show we're going to talk about protecting and removing bad habits. So Henry, when you hear protecting and removing bad habits, what do you think?
Perspective, what's bad? The habits. Well, let me see here, because we like to protect ones. Let's say I drink and I smoke. I give up drinking. I keep smoking even though it's a bad habit. But compared to drinking, it's not as detrimental to me in the long run, perhaps. I guess that would be a good example. I can sure tell you about getting rid of bad ones, though.
Okay, Chili Mo, you hear protecting and removing bad habits. What do you think of that?
You know what? I think protecting and removing. That's kind of like two different things, right? If you're protecting it, you're not removing it, right? So
what's your opinion?
No. I'm not gonna give that too early. But what I think of it is just placing yourself in good positions. That's what I think when I hear that.
Okay. Yuri. Everybody, this is Yuri. You know, I've been sharing Yuri's stuff, so this is Yuri. Yuri, what do you think when you hear protecting and removing bad habits?
Not a damn thing. Yeah, I knew. Oh, there
Yuri.
There we go. Look, I've been talking the whole time. There it is. But yeah, I think choices. That's what I hear. I hear choices, right? Because, like Henry said, your perspective on your circumstances determines your choices. And when it comes down to your habits, you can protect some that you think aren't as bad, and then you could try to remove the ones in your perspective that think that are detrimental to you. So Yeah, I think it comes down to choices. Like my man said, we ain't gonna spill all the beans just yet. We're gonna, take our time getting into them tonight, But yeah, I definitely see choices on deck. Easy.
Okay, okay. So when I came up with this, I was thinking you always have to protect yourself. And sometimes, like you said, choices. Sometimes the things that we see as bad to us may not be bad habits. It may be something that, is a vice for us that isn't a plus. It's like, let's say I like shopping, but it's not where I'm shopping so much that I'm coming in debt. It's just that that's what I like to do every now and then is go shopping. So I'm going to get rid of the things that are hurting me, and I'm going to save those ones that people may see as bad habits, yet they're not really bad habits to me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Right.
that's exactly what I thought of when I thought of this. Protecting and removing, because sometimes they want us to get rid of all those sins, right, Yuri? In the Bible, it says remove sins, right? But then some things that we do, like the crystals and whatnot, somebody might see that as a sin, yet it's not to us because we're not using it for that purpose.
I kind of like the idea. Like, not everybody. Sex can be really fun, nice, great, and there's all people who go their entire lives without being a problem. Well, it can be. So it's kind of the eye of the beholder, I suppose.
And I'm
Perspective,
glad.
perspective. So I want to ask the question because I heard your perspective right there. Um, is there a such thing as a good habit? Do we
Yeah.
have good habits? Like brushing your teeth every morning, right?
Washing your
Is that
hands.
a habit? Is that a habit, or is that a routine? Because in some sense we build habits based upon routine things that we do. You start to do it on a routine sense, and it becomes habitual, right? So is there such, I was just eating some spaghetti. Is there such thing as good habits
Eating
that
spaghetti.
deserve to be protected, right? Like if
Yes.
you wake
Yes.
up, you
Yes.
know what I mean? Right.
And
Yes.
I will say that you're absolutely correct on that. I think the only time something becomes bad is when you indulge in it, when you do too much of it, too excessive to it, and then that becomes something that you now are losing sleep over. You're not able to work and focus and whatnot because you're too obsessed almost in whatever that habit is.
I thought that was
So
interesting. Sorry, you can go ahead.
go ahead, Harry.
I'll say addictions and habits. They don't necessarily. It's fun how they don't have to be substance abuse related. You can get pathological
Right.
anything like that. And anything, even washing your hands. I know people who wash their hands. I've seen them wash their hands so much that they start bleeding. That's like not good. You can beat anything to death. That's when it becomes a detriment to you. The caffeine is weed.
So I have a habit, and it became to the point where I have to control it because I have to remove myself from it because it's not healthy for me. It's not a habit where it is sinful. It's not a habit where it indulges me too much where I'm not able to focus and control. It's just I doubt people. I doubt people a lot because I'm so used to people not being real with me, not coming through for what they say. And so I doubt so many people that now it became a habit for me just to naturally be like, "Are you serious? Would you for real?" I did that tonight to somebody. I'm like, "If you really will take me, if you're for real." And I'm just like, you know what? That's not fair to say to that person because that person's never done nothing to me for me to say that to them. But it became habit to me because I'm so accustomed to people saying they're going to do one thing until they do something totally different. You guys receive that?
Yeah, I can get that.
So,
I
sub to pro, when you hear protecting and removing bad habits, what do you think?
Um, Basically, removing bad habits, I don't think we can fully do that, but then I guess that's where the protection would come in, is thinking beforehand about how the outcome of situations can play out and trying to prevent certain things from happening, and um peeping peeping routines of uh fucked up behavior. So if you see where you acting in a certain manner, or you or a certain mindset where it took you before, and you allow yourself to sit back and say, well, I see how that affected me the last time. I see how this played out the last time I've reacted in these fashions. Let me try a different way. Um, you gotta be your coach as well as you are in the game plan. You gotta be the coach. You gotta be the general manager. You also gotta make the jersey. You gotta clean the jersey. You all the way in the game, but you are in charge of every facet of the game when it comes to your life. So if your clothes ain't straight, it ain't because somebody didn't show you how to. If you want your clothes straight, you'll figure out how to keep that shit straight. So that's what I think about protecting and removing bad habits is really just prevention at the end of the day. Like keeping maintaining your life and keeping shit that you don't want out.
Yeah, I get that. That goes back to Yuri saying that we all got choices. Now, make the best choice possible that benefits you and others around you.
Exactly, because and when you truly center and in self, a lot of people scared to think or be alone or feel selfishly, but when you in tune with the rest of the universe and the part that you play in it, more times than not, the decision that you'll make selfishly benefits more than you. I tend to like to think that I think of the end game, or I think about more people than me. But I'm growing into this person that's like just allowing things to be what they are. I don't control nothing. So like I use my time for what it's for. I don't let people use my time for bullshit or things that's not going where I want to go. And that's it.
I like what you said about prevention. So I think for certain people, when you remove a bad habit, it becomes tantamount to keeping yourself safe to actually protect yourself from that habit. Like I always speak from personal experience to say, my bad habit, one of my bad habits was drinking, and I'm never going to be rid of that. Which means if I pick up a bottle of booze, I think 100% I will be right back, if not worse than I was before in no time. So I got to protect myself from that. Prevention is a really important part. I'm glad you brought that up.
For me,
Exactly, and that's what a recovering alcoholic. Like I think about the first time I went to AA and I heard that we are all recovering alcoholics and will never stop being one. I was like, then why the fuck did I quit then? I don't want to be no alcoholic forever. Like if I quit, don't call me that shit no more. I'm of the logic like if I quit smoking crack and you call me a crackhead after that, we gonna scrap. I don't care how many times I lit up before that. Don't call me that shit no more. But
yeah,
recognize
I feel you.
but recognizing that that is always in you, just like the as well as your good intentions. If you were a pure hearted person, if you're a decent person, you're also a evil asshole. You're also a vindictive, conniving person. It's just you make a choice between the Jesus and the devil in you every day, all day, every day. You could commit murder every day you wake up. You don't do it. For whatever reason, you don't do it. Well, that's here nor there to me. But you have options, and it go back into what was said before I started on the show. But watch how, when, and where you tell people they have a choice. Because
Yeah.
people that feel like they don't have a choice or feel like they're being attacked.
I didn't want to be an outlaw.
or in bondage, right?
Bondage.
Enslaved. Yeah.
Enslaved,
Exactly.
yeah.
And that's exactly where I'm trying not to go, because that's exactly the triggers. It's a direct message that I'm trying to avoid. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. And no matter what the trauma or the trigger is, if I make a direct comment about something that affects a large part of this community, and I'm talking about it in a way that don't go along with how people feel about that situation, then I'm being insensitive. That's not necessarily true, but I can't tell anybody different because that's the way they feel.
I can
Point.
receive that too.
So can
Go
we do something real quick? Can we do something? Can
Huh.
we I think what happens in life is whenever people are communicating, there's always a chance for a misunderstanding, right? And I think for the sake of this whole concept and subject, we should define what an addiction is or a habit, right?
Well, no, because
Because
that's not true. Because what you define may be one for you will not be for me.
right. And so what
That's
I think
perspective.
should happen for the sake of this conversation is if we all can agree on basic fundamentals of what we believe an addiction or a habit is, from there we can outline, okay, well, if this is what that is, then why for any individual, why do these people, why do we end up wanting to go back to these things? Is it because it's like, hey, it's something we just do, you know what I mean? Or is it like,
Comfort,
you know, yeah, or is it
familiarity,
comfort? Is it trauma? Is it,
familiarity.
because I think the whys behind the habits matter, because sometimes it could be deeply rooted, and that's why it's hard for people to get out of that bondage, even if it's something that people don't put on them. It could be something that they're putting on themselves from their own mentality, right?
But
So the
Yeah.
whys matter.
once again, it would still be relative to the people that's on this show, and we don't speak for everybody else.
Uh-uh.
I've been an alcoholic, and I don't speak for all alcoholics. I'm
Not at
black. I
all.
don't speak for all black people. I'm a man. I don't speak for every man. There are dynamics to this shit that go well beyond what we are allowed to talk about in an hour or two.
That
Um, and I'm not about to argue with people about their feelings anymore. Like I'll be quick to be like, okay, I'm talking in what I feel is logic. I'm talking in what I feel is compassion. I'm talking in what I feel is consideration of more than myself. When I feel that any of those are not being used properly, and mind you, I said when I feel like that, meaning that is singular to me and
and
the
it's a
people
feeling.
that feel like me at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm overstepping boundaries in some kind of way because I'm going to try to make your thought process or what you're trying to convey less important than what I'm trying to say or what I think or feel. And when that starts happening, the truth isn't being heard. A fucking point is trying to be made. And there's no
That.
truth in that. That's just feeling. And that's very situational. It's not for everybody, it's not for all times.
So
I understand and I agree to a lot of points. I think the only point of what I was trying to say was when people define the things that they perceive from their own perspective, they have a better opportunity to address the girth of the matter, right? If you define what it is and say, okay, what is a habit for me? Like if I spoke personally, right? And I was like, one of my habits was, you know, playing the video game or smoking weed or something, right? And then I asked myself, okay, why is it a habit? Or why am I calling it a habit? And I get that definition, that answer from myself, from my soul, from the universe, outside source, the Bible, whatever. When I define those things in my mind, in my mentality, I have empowered myself to have more self-control over my circumstances and situation. And I think sometimes people don't feel empowered to be able to protect properly good habits or to remove bad habits if they
Can
don't have
I
the right mentality, right?
can I
Re-
intervene for a second? You know what you
Real quick,
could
I
do
do want to
though. You know what
I
you
want to say that he is right about the fact that those things should be defined before you even have a conversation about it, because if we don't know very specific things about what we all can agree on what an addiction is, then the fight, the answers aren't gonna ever be solved, because everybody will feel personally about what an addiction is. So I do want to say that you are very thoroughly right about that, sir.
if I could intervene real quick, I was going to say to you what you could do, though, honestly, because we're not going to tell people what a definition is, because I don't like that. This is what, because this is satire. We don't know nothing. We're not nothing on grounds. What I consider addiction may not be yours. What I consider a bad habit may not be something for you. So I don't want to put that out there for that. When Sub said it the first time, we don't try to do that here. We voice our opinion of what we went through and an experience we had. That's it. For this, for you wanting to do that for this, I get it. So you could have grounds, but that still wouldn't be the same, because mine is totally not what you would think it would be. And that's not a way of being able to have us have a ground understanding. What I was going to say,
Okay.
what you could do, though, is let people know ahead of time to have that empowerment of self, to be able to look within inside themselves. We can say that, though, if you want to really convey your conversation properly where you are overstood, because half the time I'm misunderstood, I'm misunderstood, I don't get that understanding that people receive me properly. We talked about this before, Yuri, because the words I use are not the proper words that would define what I'm trying to say. So if you
And
don't know me with in discernment and pure intent, because you wouldn't know that I have pure intent, you would say that I'm coming across in a malice way because of the proper words I'm not using.
I
So
and
to let
yeah,
You know what I was gonna
uh,
say? I think. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, 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 go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of habits is created off of familiar places. I think even addictions, we go to that place for a sense of peace because we're familiar with it. You know, like for me, I used to bite my nails, and it was just a nerve thing when I overthought, right? So when I do it, it soothes my thoughts. So a lot of times habits come, it's a familiar place that a person will go to just to find their inner peace. So really, habits can be good or bad. It depends on if you involve people with your habit and maliciously do something to attack them or anything like that or to harm them, then it's bad. But sometimes even reading can be a habit. Reading everything that you see could be a habit, but it soothes you. So sometimes habits can be very good to create good charisma within a person, right? It teaches etiquette when you create good habits for yourself. So really, to define habits, it is an individuality thing, and it doesn't, and then so what, everybody's statement is different from others, but good habits should be pronounced all the time, because a good habit can be just opening up a door. Chivalry, like opening up a door for a woman, that's a great habit to teach someone that's following you that, look, this is what we do out of respect. And sometimes, and working out is a very good habit to have because it protects your body. So really, we don't even have to dance around explaining it, we just got to point out the pros in it.
that too,
And
and like I was saying to him, Yuri, a few minutes ago, he can tell people to have a stronger bond with themselves, to learn empowerment within themselves, how they can do that, so that they can stand on their word and not worry about being perceived wrong.
as well as if you're
I have to
gonna
say something.
have a as well as when you are talking amongst with other people, because some of these issues are not just something that you just cannot talk. We're not gonna not talk about it because it's gonna be disagreements involved. When you actually do say, all right, we're gonna agree on this thing that everybody feels that this is right. We're talking about addiction and this is what we're talking about, right? Right. Everybody can say that. Okay, now, after we have that in unity, now you can have your personal feelings, but now you just have to know that those are your personal feelings. Those aren't the specified universal truths that everybody discussed beforehand. So we're not going to knock your feelings, but we're not going to make your feelings more important than any other of the individuals that are talking right now.
Yes,
I can
yes,
receive that
yes.
also. I can receive that also. I just see, for me, like I said at the beginning of the show, found that it became a habit to not trust people. And it's not fair to people because a lot of people come into my life with pure intentions like I do, and they mean well. And then I'm doubting them. Like, I ask someone if they're coming on this show every single day, and they keep saying yes and never once showed up. So I am like, okay, I have trust issues now. And it's not just with that person. I realize I have trust issues with a lot of different people. And it's not because, and that's not fair, though, to put that upon everybody when not everybody's done that to me.
It's not fair to put it on anybody outside of you. Your trust issues are exactly that, your trust issues.
Hmm.
So it's not that you don't not trust people. You don't trust relying on the people that you have wanted to utilize, and that has set you up to not want to extend yourself in the future. That's all a you thing. You control all of that. So with that being said, it's not that'll be like somebody saying, I got hurt too many times, that's why I don't be in relationships. It's like, dude, like, nah. If you got hurt too many times, then you are failing to realize that you put yourself in a firing range. Nobody went up to you, dragged your ass out of your house, and shot you the fuck up. You wanted to date.
And bad
Losses,
habits are not.
casualties happen. Casualties happen. Every every ever after ain't a happy one. So if you feel like that, you have to re-examine once again how you applying yourself in these situations. Well, you don't have to do anything, but it would be wise to examine self, the one thing that you can maneuver, the one thing that you can have some say so, some control, some reconstruction in. Because anything trying to guide or shape or manipulate anything outside of you becomes some form of entitlement.
I'll accept that. The thing is, though, that bad habits are not always the same as addictions.
And so once again, we've came full circle back to the reason why I brought this up. I
But
said
the
in the
whole
beginning,
title is called Bad Habits.
exactly. But so there has to be an understood definition so that as we're communicating, we're all on the same page. We all literally just said it without saying it. Having an individual definition is perfect for empowerment. Having an understood definition for communication is understood for communication and understanding. So we can understand, okay, what do we agree upon is a habit? Because habits don't have to be negative, like my
No,
man said. And so
repetitive.
we
Something you
have
do repetitively.
right. So we have to
Something
understand
that's
what an
done,
actual
something
habit
a
is.
habit is something that you do repetitively, something that you would do whether you had money or not, something that you almost feel that you have to do even when it's not a necessity.
Right. So this is what
Consciously and unconsciously.
the Google definition is saying this. It said a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. A long,
Yep.
loose garment. Well, yeah, we're not going to call, that's a different word. But so yeah, so that's that right there. Then if we can all say, yeah, we agree upon that, then boom,
Yes.
because it's neutral and we all understood. And then therefore, when we talk, everybody's understood that this is what it is when we're talking about a habit. And then when it comes down to an addiction, then
That's
we're on a
different.
different level. You see what I'm saying? And it can get personal, which is okay because this is all about that the pureness of being who we are, and then the pureness of being open enough so that we can get healing. Because oftentimes, if you don't go to the doctor, you can't get healed, and that requires to be transparent. And sometimes we
And
go to the doctor still, and we still want to lie. Nah, I don't smoke. No, I don't. You know what I mean? Like really capping, and then to come to figure out it impacts how the doctor diagnoses you and how he actually treats you and your symptoms because you're not being open and honest enough to actually show him what's the problem. Imagine a
Damn,
child. You see what I'm saying? Imagine a child coming to
that's
you. I'm
real
hurt. And you're
talk
like,
because
where? But it's like,
because
you know, they
now
don't
I
tell you
see
that.
exactly what you're getting at because that in all actuality, there is no difference between a habit and an addiction. By all clinical terms, they call an addiction a habit.
Where's my mic on?
Whatever your drug of choice is, that's your habit.
Who
And
here's
so
a
you see,
functional alcoholic?
I'm just
look,
saying
yeah.
I'm just saying clinically, like clinically, they call an addiction a habit. They don't even say if it's a good or a bad one. They just say he's got a habit.
Then consider this, and then consider this. We'll sometimes use the word addiction in the sense of like the same wordplay, right? Oh, girl, I'm
Right.
addicted to you. Oh, I'm addicted to your love. You know, I need it. I gotta
Yeah.
have it. And so we
Yeah.
we have to
Like
consider. You see what I'm
Carl
saying? So
Stone
if we consider
Creamery.
why we feel like we have to have these things, like I said, we go back to the whys. Then it's like that empowerment. So I don't know if we just wanted to just talk about, you know, just general habits and addictions today, or if we wanted to expose the realities of why we all psychologically have them. Because if someone is looking for escape or freedom,
Or
we
protection.
have an opportunity to combine our minds and develop a solution that could be beneficial to everybody, which is the point
Yes.
of love and community and unity.
I'd like
So
to talk like that today.
yeah, you know, so that's what I thought the point was, right? I thought that's where we were
No,
at today.
no, but that's, sir, that's exactly what was necessary for everybody to come to a common ground because before, if you don't specify just like that, for everybody to hear you without over talking you or waiting for their turn to talk and they actually take everything that you have to say in, they it tends to make sense when you can hear every fucking word instead of hearing what you wanted to hear and running off at the mouth after that.
Good understanding, right? It's
Mhm.
so having that understanding amongst each other is always empowerment for the group, whatever subject and whoever's involved. The only times when group discussions become volatile is when those misunderstandings are there because of lack of understanding definitions and because of
Yep,
egos, right?
yep,
And that's
exactly.
just naturally any at a job, at a sports team, in a
Anywhere,
household, anywhere, right? So
anything for any reason. That's why
come on,
trending
dog.
That's why trending topics be so popular and so agitated because of that reality that you just spoke on.
So yeah, for me, I got like 5 habits and addictions. I guess they could all be interchangeable, right? And I'm wrestling with them now, and I'm gonna be transparent. I'm gonna be transparent. So I struggle with pornography and sex. I haven't done, you know, any of them like I used to anymore because it's a process. You know, when you really don't want to, you do start to wean off a little bit, right? And when you do go back to it, you know, you feel different. It's a conviction. It don't feel like how it was in the beginning, right? It's kind of like falling in love, right? In the beginning, oh, it's all puppy love, and then afterwards, it's like, nah, I can't stand you, right? So,
Ugh.
so for me, you know, I didn't know any better growing up, getting into sex early. I didn't know any better getting exposed to pornography. You feel me? Even the weed, smoking, drinking, all the above. You know, I was exposed to it, and it became a part of my lifestyle because I accepted it based upon perspective.
Were you
From what I was
educated?
hearing, it was acceptable. Well, from what I was hearing, in moderation, it's okay. And so I allowed it to be a part of who I was, and it became more part of my lifestyle and routine, and it developed into a habit and addictions.
Did
So
you
for
get
me,
proper education?
say it one more time.
Did you get proper education for it when you were being exposed to it?
No, not at all. Not at all. You know, I was just hearing that he say, she said, oh, weed makes everything taste better. And oh, you should play the video game high and you know, whatever, right? You know, sex feels good, you know, whatever, you know, just the normal stuff anybody hears, what I mean?
I
And I
learned
feel
about
like
sex in the penthouse. You know, it's like, was that right?
You feel me? Right. You know, and look, if you don't have no understanding, you'll fall for anything, right? You know, so of course all of us are impressionable. Even when we get older, you know, just because we older don't mean that we know everything. So we could always fall to something, you know what I mean, if we have lack of understanding. So for me, now since I'm older, I'm 35, you feel me? I feel like I understand that, yeah, smoking and drinking is cool, but I understand it's not better for me. So if it's not better for me, like it's not doing anything beneficial, it's just pleasure, leisurely, whatever. And then if there's a con, which there is, it's not good for my body. Like I could just start there. Just logically, it's not good for my body. Just I need to stop. Like, you know, I only got one body. I got to be mindful. Plus, I do music. It's not good for my lungs. Like, it's counterproductive. So, those choices and that perspective is changing how I want to live, and therefore my habits and or addictions. You see what I'm saying? So, I had to understand and then ask the right questions. And then now I have empowerment to, you know, make the choices however I want to make them. Even if I was like, no, I'm keep smoking weed and throw it in my music and use it as a, you know, marketing tool, you know, that's perspective. If someone wants to do that, that's their perspective. If it's mushrooms or whatever it is, if it's perks, whatever. You feel me? So yeah, you know, like I said, you know, as long as we can all understand that just because we say something's a habit or, you know, we're addicted to it, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It's my dad in here, y'all. Love you, Dad. Love you, Dad.
I was saying earlier,
Yeah.
I proposed a question earlier on Facebook.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. My dad just fucking left. He was here working all day. I proposed a question on Facebook today. It was for the functional alcoholics, which is a wonderful term. Why do you choose that? And I didn't get a whole lot of actual answers from alcoholics on that, if you can believe it or not. And the reasoning for that is if you want to piss someone off, make them fly off the handle and start not relating to you whatsoever, ask a functional alcoholic why they're a functional alcoholic. You can say chemical addiction. Yeah, and that's why we have interventions and things like this when habits become so bad. When Chilimo was talking about biting his nails earlier, I was picking my nails. I've come from, I got so bad that I was hacking my nails off actually with razor blades until they were bleeding and there was nothing left of them. So I feel you on that one. My habit has gotten better. Have I protected it? No. Is it hard to get rid of? Yeah. Painting my nails pretty much stopped me from doing that. I don't want to. The habit's really strong. So that's a fun thing to break, though. I like the way I answer that question. Functional alcoholics. Like it's kind of a double-edged sword because alcohol is poison on mass in your system, no matter who you are. We have a scientific answer, but it's not really good for them. But they will justify it, and they will get mad, and that's where we breach that territory into actually trying to tell someone.
And then some.
Go ahead.
Come on. No, you're right. No, you're right. And then sometimes we don't even want to acknowledge that we're alcoholics and get even more insulted when someone tries to call us on it, right? And so, like, I had that situation happen. I found myself drinking almost every day, dog, and I wasn't getting drunk, but I would have a beer every day, and then the girlfriend that I was with at the time and her son would notice it, and then would start calling me out on it. And of course, I would get upset. But it's like, even if the definitions were off, right? Because they just seeing that and calling me an alcoholic just because they see that in habit. You see, does that mean I'm addicted to it because it's a habit?
Not at all.
And so I think sometimes, like I said, people have to make that definition in their mind themselves. If they can accept and agree and say, yes, I'm an alcoholic, then that response is more honest and pure. Even the solution, right? So I think yeah, that's some powerful stuff, Henry.
Men admitting that and having acceptance is a very manly trait unto its own. Saying there's something wrong with me, I want to change it is pretty badass. And I don't think that's a very commonplace thought, especially among men in society today. They look at it as, oh, I'm weak, I became an addict and shit. There's nothing to be farther from the truth. That doesn't make you weak. I think there's a lot of societal pressures to drink. I bring up drinking so much because it is such a detrimental habit. You know, it becomes an addiction more often than not, and that's what I like tackling. I like the difference between that. I do think it needs to be addressed, and it's never an attack. I mean, it can be an attack, but even when you don't mean it for an attack, it becomes an attack. And I think we need to beat that. We need to get rid of that kind of mentality.
It's because of the fucking shit that they put on junkies and alcoholics. It's because of the stigma that comes along with being that. And that's why the line between addiction and habit is very fucking thin. If you're
Extremely.
addicted, a video game habit can be a fucking addiction too.
Yeah.
Like if you really like if it's something that you like to do, you're not really hurting anybody. It can breed laziness, but it also has motor function. It also is a basic community where you don't have to put your life in danger. You could actually communicate and play games with people from all over the world. And I'm not defending this like this is my personal addiction or whatever. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that get
Oh,
looked
just
at
an
for being
example. Yeah.
yeah, they get looked at for being discouraged for just wanting to play the goddamn game. And I'm like, bro, if that's an addiction that we need to save people from, I think we got bigger ones on our hands.
Yeah, and there's a lot less long-term health effects too, for sure. Especially if you
I'm
get
saying,
back up to 15
look,
minutes.
look, I'm just trying to tell you, I'm just trying to say, like, even personally, I know at some point I'm gonna have to deal with carpal tunnel. I wouldn't wish that on nobody, and you're not gonna know that until your hands are beyond repair. And that's all well and good. If you wanted to spend your life playing every fucking system that came out for the past 35 years and you felt that it was worth it, cool. But you're not going to tell a 5 year old, oh, you're going to lose the power to move your wrist around the right way. Like, do you think they give a fuck?
I masturbated so much my whole entire life, and I can move my wrist. Now, you could sit there and play a video game and be just fine.
I play
I'm
guitar
just
And,
saying.
and
every day. If someone told me I'm going to lose my arm when I get old if I play guitar, I'm still going to play guitar.
I could
You
see
know,
better than
my dog made a habit of breaking out of the gate. So much. Made a habit of breaking out of the gate. Now my dog is in jail. So now that became a problem. So now I have to go to doggy jail and rescue my dog. He's got a
Okay.
first
So I
mugshot.
think we're bringing up some good points here. So let me consider this because she made a point, and all three of us, all of us made a point actually. So the question is, since it's a thin line between habit and addiction, what's the line marker? I think the line marker is need. You can crave to do something that you want to do, and it can be a habit because you want to do it. You can crave to do having the addiction, but does it become an addiction when it's something you feel like you need? Because it can be different for
no,
everybody. When you feel
no,
like you
because
need it,
it's
is that when you're addicted to it?
look, it's a habit. Look, it's
I
people
think
feel the need to play basketball. Like they get off of work, they go get in the shower from work. They gotta be fresh to go play basketball. They gotta have some basketball shoes that ain't step out shoes, but they definitely not bummy. These the shoes that I play basketball in. They nigga, that's they fucking life, and they feel like they need it. Not only because they want to hoop and they love the culture, but because it's active and it keep them alive and they feel young and at heart and free when they playing it. So yeah, they are addicted to it as well as it's a fucking habit and you can't take one away from the other.
So when that would become an addiction is when you're
So,
spending so much on shoes that actually your life is suffering because of it.
But that's a judgment call because that's an
that's
addiction
what I was
too.
about to
That's
say.
an addiction too. If you
That's
spend
but that's the
more
point.
money on
That's we're
coke
saying.
than you spend on your rent, it's an habit and an addiction. There is no difference. It's just
That's
Right.
what Henry
it's
just said.
Yeah.
Okay, so now so are we, so I think this is the point because bro was like, he made a good point. He was like, or you said it actually, you was like if we consider it, there's a thin line between them, between addiction, a very thin line between addiction and habit, which is why they're so interchangeably used in conversation or in context, right? So, but I think there is a difference when people like, I don't think someone, man, actually we on deep. You're maybe addictions and habits are the exact same thing, and it becomes negative when it's a detriment to other people or a detriment to yourself and your livelihood, or
That
you start
bad.
to make unnecessary sacrifices.
That little
They
word.
Of
can
course,
be. What
and
were you
that
going
can
to
go
say,
The
back to.
Chili
only
Mo?
time that's the
I
only
was gonna
time
say that.
that would make it bad, I would say. That's the only time you can put bad in front of a habit. Now, an addiction is, if you say
You know
the
what I
word
mean?
addiction,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
automatically going to come with a negative connotation to it. You could be addicted to ice cream. They're going to immediately say after that that person either got weight problems, they don't exercise enough, they got bad, they just don't care about
It's
their
probably true.
Can you be
Well,
addicted to something
probably.
can
that's
I?
not a
Look,
habit?
look, LeBron works out more than the average human being, and he loves tacos. So I don't give a fuck how many Tuesday he spend gorging when he's gonna spend the entirety of his life working out more than I will ever think about it.
Chili Mo, what were you going to say?
Yeah,
But
thank
but
Hold on. He tried 3 times to say something. Please let him finish. What were you
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to
no,
say,
no,
Chili
y'all
Mo?
good, y'all good. Y'all was kind of, spurring off each other and going off of the same thing I was gonna say. But addiction and habits, addictions to me, I will consider something negative, right? And a habit is just a routine you create for yourself. So I was just gonna say that they are two of the same, but still a lot different. To it depends on what's the topic, obviously. But really at the end of the day, it goes down to choices. Habits is overindulging, and routines can always benefit you if it's your safe place. If it's something that's peaceful to yourself. A lot of times I think to overanalyze is a habit, right? And then you condescending to yourself. So a lot of times just even thinking the thought puts you in a routine habit routine.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, uh, addiction, we just gonna make addiction a bad word then, because it's like it's the same thing as a habit. I'm addicted to sex. I habitually have sex. What's the fucking difference?
you. Addiction does denote abuse at some
right.
point.
I'm
And perfect.
saying it denotes
And I
abuse,
think I
but
think it's
if you
context.
habitually, okay,
I think
a
it's
habitual,
context.
I'm addicted to lying is worse than a habitual liar.
Right, right. No, there is no difference. You're making a perfect point. So I think the context of it, because if you say, "Hey, I'm addicted to her love," right, or I
That's exactly what
habitually
I'm
want her
saying.
love, or
Jodeci
need, you
said,
know, however you gonna say it, right? So
Jodeci
it's the
literally
same
got a
thing. Yeah.
song called
So I
Fiendin'.
think, yeah, yeah. Come on, dog. Right.
Might
So
as
it's
well
like,
face
so
it.
there's. I think what like my man's was saying, once when it becomes negative is the thing that everybody should define in their own selves. You
Right.
should have a limit or marker to where you understand I'm crossing the line. Everybody personally and individually should have a marker. If you don't have a line to where you know it's getting bad, then it's a problem. Because your LeBron analogy was great. I think, like Henry was saying, Henry did the hand thing, the balance thing. It's balance. He exercises a lot, but he also has a taco habit, right? So the point is, as long as it's not hurting the people around you or yourself, and when you know you have a marker, make sure you restrain yourself if you don't want that thing to turn into no monster, right? Because clearly, without restraint, anything can become a harmful thing. Anything, drinking water can be harmful and deadly if you don't restrain it.
Yeah,
Right.
that guy
So what
died on
I'm
the Howard Stern show from slamming a gallon of water. It will kill you. You drowning.
And
so
it
what
will.
I'm saying that what I'm saying is this: if I'm addicted to music, and my addiction to music causes me to, like Dewey Cox, he said, I'm gonna miss some births. Like I'm not gonna be around for a lot of shit because I'm gonna either be in the studio making music, I'm gonna be rehearsing the music that I make, or I'm gonna be performing the music that I make. And then after that, I'm gonna be signing autographs, I'm gonna be selling t-shirts, I'm gonna be doing music related shit. And I don't give a fuck how that affects anybody. It's gonna be family members that like, yeah, he wasn't there for a wedding. He missed his mama funeral because he was at a concert and he said, I gotta be there. I just sold out Madison Square Garden and he missed his mama funeral.
You're
Let
a
me
And
say this.
somebody
Let me
gonna
say
look at you fucked up. All your fans gonna look at you like you the greatest entertainer that ever lived. Who am I
so.
supposed to choose?
Let me say this. So I guess to go against the grain, addictions is a selfish habit. Then
Okay then.
No, it can't. It's
Once
perception.
again, if
I like
somebody
that.
wants
I
to
like
do
that. I like.
something
I
that
like that point you threw in there, though. I like that.
if somebody is doing something that is their livelihood without anybody else's attachment, association, what the fuck ever, you're not gonna benefit from me playing video games. As a matter of fact, you do, because if you really give a fuck about me, you want me to be happy. Video games make me happy, regardless if I'm playing them with you or not. If you give a fuck about me, you'll let me play a fucking video game. How about that one?
I get it.
Once
Sometimes
again,
I think
not defending video
Again,
games, but at the
again,
same,
but no, no, no. There has to be a measure, right? Because the video games may not hurt nobody, right? It may be beneficial, even bring some money into the crib, all the above. It could.
I
But
have
then
a
that's not really
scenario though.
marketing. It's not really about what I said.
I have a scenario though. This guy played video games so much that he was married and had kids, and he rather lived in that video game, the new GT 5, the Grand Theft Auto, the new one. He was living in that metaverse so much that you know who I'm talking about, Chili Mo. That then his marriage started suffering, and he had a whole girlfriend and everything in the video game.
He was married
so.
to the game.
Selfishly,
He
he
had
neglected
sex
his family.
in the
Selfishly, he
video
neglected.
game.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So,
And so there has to be a level. The wife can't say, I love him so much, I'm gonna let him do that, and then she's neglected and he don't give a fuck because he's missing the mark where it's affecting other people. Like,
Yeah.
and like I said, I'm not trying to define anything, but I do think it's healthy for people all around the world. Once we understand that we have things that we do in routine, if we do not measure it based upon things that are good or bad that we define, if we don't make these definitions, it can become detrimental in some degree. A mouse only needs a quarter size hole to run through. If you
Right?
don't make sure that your stuff is tight, anything can pop at the seams. So
but
this is
that's the
that's
how
thing though.
people can be
you know
empowered
what?
to understand.
There,
We strong enough to know that everybody need to stop judging each other, right? We all strong enough to know.
right?
So I think once it's put out there that you have one, everybody going to defense mode, right? So really, at the end of the
Okay,
day, for the people that's watching and everything, try not to judge people because you never know the reason why their habits are created. And to
exactly.
really get to know them is to sit with them in the process of their habits and figure out what makes them tick to even bring them out of their habits. But to sit there and pass judgment, sometimes it ain't healthy. It'll push someone to go back in there. So I think the person we spoke on with the game habit, I don't think they was actually seeing eye to eye. So his only safe place was in his habit, even though he probably didn't even like to be there alone. So a lot of times, if you know anyone with habits, sit with them, figure out why the reason, what they love, find out what they love about their habit or their addiction, and then you can help them through it. Because honestly, for anyone to allow someone to sit in their own habits and addictions, we're being condescending to our purpose in this world, right? And that's why I call it a selfish act. Because anyone that's only
Well,
thinking about themselves is definitely neglecting someone that needs them. So it is a marker there,
well,
Yuri. I want to reiterate
You
on that.
did that, Mo. You really did that right there. That was so fucking necessary because I swear on everything, like suicide is one of the most selfish things that people can do. I even know this, and I know it.
Agreed.
I'm still very considerate of the suicidal person. I'm very considerate of that person. I don't think enough people are considerate enough of the person that feels like they have had they feel with life. that feels like that. That don't even be true to the people that hear that. They was like, it's so much stuff. You should have just waited another day. Give it another 5 minutes. Like, dog, how many times have he said another 5 minutes? Y'all don't think about how many 5 minutes have passed, and that every 5 minutes that passed was more agonizing than the last 5 minutes before. So I'm glad that you brought that up because that is a very selfish act, but we're all selfish people. So just as much as we're allowed to say he's selfishly playing the game and not considering my fucking feelings, you're only considering your feelings and not considering why he's playing the fucking game.
right? With the unaliving rates climbing, in the last
Nah,
few
now,
weeks.
now, now.
What were you saying, Henry?
I said with unaliving
Go ahead.
rates climbing and shit. I think it's really. I hate hearing that too many people. You hear too much like what we could have done, what we could have done, and I feel people are very closed off, And I don't know if the social media has helped or anything, but it seems like people are alone, and man, it's just fucking. It sucks. Anyone who does that to themselves is having a horrible time. And I try to talk to people and be like, "What's up? What's going on? How you doing?" And I had someone recently text me, and then they checked themselves into the hospital, and now they're still alive. And it's not because of me. I was just like, "Hey, I'm proud of you. I love you. I'm glad you're doing this. Don't not do it. Just gotta be there for people."
I want to say this real quick before you say something, Yuri. Those that are gonna unalive themselves are usually the ones that won't speak about it. So it's always good to check on someone's mental health, whether you heard from them or not, because if the ones that reach out to you are the ones that are reaching out to you for attention or just because they want to be heard. Not attention, I apologize. Because they want to be heard, they want to be talked to, they want someone to talk them out of it. Those that really aren't going to do it will not come to you and talk about it.
And even still, I know people that really, really, I have seen cries for help, like visible, physical, verbal cries for help go ignored. So, although I do agree with that logic, people have tried to show in their own ways. Like I always go to Chester Bennington. If you listen to any Linkin Park song that came on the radio thoroughly, you will hear an individual talk about trying to escape things that they cannot get away from.
Right?
We listened to those songs, we resonated with those songs, but we failed to check on the person making the song.
Facts.
We all know that we get entertained by the clown, and the clown is so busy entertaining us, his mental health is shot to shit. But we never ask how the clown is doing. Robin Williams.
Man, I just gotta say, I fucking love Linkin Park. I listened to Hybrid Theory many, many times growing up because it was like a band-aid for what was going on to me. And it kind of blows my mind that Chester, he never even swore on that album. There's not a cuss word on that album, but it's full of anger. It's all inflection, and it was a cry for help kind of album, wasn't it?
When
Chitlins,
I tied the noose around my neck, I promise you, no one knew. No one knew I was making it. No one knew I was tying it around my neck. No one had no idea that I was at that point where I wrapped it around my neck and put it around the tree and wrapped it around the tree, and then it didn't happen. But I was in the noose because I wanted it to happen. No one knew. The only thing that saved me was my dog from inside of a locked house come running at me because I asked for a sign if I was supposed to still be here. And no one would have known
fuck.
until they come, my kids or somebody saw me hanging from the tree.
Lil Wayne was by himself when he shot himself in the heart, and if it wasn't for a police officer, he wouldn't be here today. So like like once again, I know that if somebody really really is off, they probably sick of talking to people about it anyway. Just like the people that do the school shootings, the ones that really were bullied, or the one
Yeah.
even the ones that's reaching out for attention. They tried so much before that. They tried so much before that. And I don't care how blind we were or how deaf we were, they tried. We didn't see it. We didn't
Yeah,
hear it. It went on deaf ears, and now it's too late after the thing happened. You can't care after the fact.
facts.
Can I want to speak on two things real quick, and I'm gonna try to make them as quick as possible. But you guys are bringing up such great points, and I myself have dealt with suicidal mentalities and tendencies, not only personally but also within family. And to hear that it's so close to home, meaning I'm sure if we did some type of real life survey, maybe 5 out of 10 people have suicidal thoughts. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure it's way more than we think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what happens is we miss out on that unity and that love and that forgiveness and that mercy and that grace because we have so many traumas on the inside that keep us from having that closure or having that environment to where we can actually grow and mature and grow out of these things. And even within the habits and the addictions, either they can hurt or they can help, but it's a part of a lot of the problem is either the things that we need aren't there, which could be knowledge, it could be just someone to talk to. Something's missing in our life, and the communication does need to happen. We do need each other. And like, Mo said, forgiveness, mercy, understanding, sitting and talking to somebody, actually trying to figure somebody out, having enough time to love somebody and to sit down and be like, what's really going on? Like, talk to me. That is so important in life. And I think we miss out on that sense of community and family and love just as a principle. And that's part of the reason why this is so rampant throughout the nation, let alone the world, right? So I think it's an eye opener across the board. I hope, anybody who's listening in right now, if you know anybody who's going through, if you know anybody and you feel like they possibly are going through something, talk to them. I'd just ask them what's going on. Really be that friend for them, be that shoulder for them, you feel me? Because you never know how much of a difference that can make. So, the two things I was just going to say, just to clear it up, is just love each other, forgive each other. That's just one. And then two, have the communication and always have that communication. Always be considerate of somebody else. Those are only two things, you feel me? Because you can't judge. We all go through it. Even if you get out of it and you figure it out, remember that you used to be there. Have some mercy, right? If you feel like you holier than thou, or you're finally getting it together and you can help people and you get this and you get that, remember when you didn't have it. You feel me? Try to bring somebody up. Try to pull somebody up there with you now since you got to the top. Don't just be so selfish, because really love and unity is all about somebody else. It's not about you. And it takes action. So I just wanted to say that, man, because I'm literally going through things like this. And I have a responsibility to take care of the people in my jurisdiction. And it's tough when you look around and you see that not only yourself is damaged and hurt and need healing, but everybody around you that needs it too. So these conversations need to happen. All of us be going through stuff. Everybody on this line and anybody who's tuned in or will tune in, we all go through it. And if we're not empowering each other, or if we're not looking for empowerment, the knowledge in itself must be obtained somehow, because that's what's going to help us be set free. The truth will set you free. And if you have the truth of why you do things, you have the truth of, knowing your addictions, or even the truth of a solution and how to get out of it, steps and planning and new routines, or it could be your faith or religion or something, that just a new environment or a new person that you meet, that is always there. So be mindful to seek it and look out and look for it. Don't be so comfortable in your stuff, especially if you know that, hey, it's impacting somebody else.
So
yes,
I
I
want to.
love it and I like to do it, but don't be so caught up in self to where you're man. All right, just one scenario. The person, like bro said, the person who's playing the game. I like to play the game. Hey, this is what I want to do. Woo woo. But I'm married, or I'm in a relationship or something, right? I'm only focused on this and this is what I like to do. You should accept it. Then the other person who's like, but you're forgetting about me. I love you enough to let you do that, but you're missing out on what I got going on and I'm being neglected and it makes me feel suicidal. Boom. So we have both problems and both issues popping up because you have one person who's stuck on themselves and wants to do it for themselves because it makes them feel good because their own traumas. Then you have somebody who's reaching out to that person, but they're blocked off and have barriers because of what they're trying to do themselves. And then the other person feels like they don't have anybody and they feel alone and now they feel suicidal. The problems come whenever we are selfish. We must be considerate of others in everything that we do. And we got to have some boundaries, even for ourselves. If not, that monster will keep growing.
So once you're on the platform right now and you got the floor, I want to go across everybody and I want to start with you since you're already talking. I want to say, what's one thing you could do to make it a healthy? Because you got to protect yourself and you got to and remove the bad habits. So what is one step you could help somebody who's dealing with some kind of bad habit? What is one thing you can tell them to protect themselves, but yet remove that bad habit? Give a solution.
Something. I think the solution for most people, we kind of hinted on it talking about earlier today. Make sure you define the whys, the whats, and the hows when you're talking about yourself and discovering yourself. If you understand yourself well enough to know why you're doing the thing and how it's impacting you, you have enough power there to make a solution or to make a change, especially if it's what you want to do. If you want to change, you will. If you want to keep doing it, you will. So you have to make up your mind and define those things for yourself, first off. And then from there, whatever your particular habit or situation or circumstance is, there's a solution for it somewhere. For the video gamer, for example, because it's a lighter one. It's not as heavy as some.
I want everybody to answer
One
one.
plays
So
video
I
game,
just
and
like
I'm
you
one
to
of
give
them.
one.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm one of the video gamer type people. You feel me? I have to make sure that I'm putting myself on a schedule. If I neglect that schedule, there's a chance that I can end up wasting time or putting too much time into enjoying the video game. And it's not hurting nothing, but it's keeping me from being productive, right? So that's just a perfect example. Give yourself a cutoff, a mark, a limit, somewhere that this is the mark I'll need to go past. And I think that can help everybody as a start at the least.
Okay, Chili Mo, what's one thing that you could do for somebody who has a bad habit that they're trying to protect themselves yet remove that bad habit?
Well, first, I want them to change their thought process and treat people how they want to be treated. First off, start with that.
Okay. Give them a solution though they could do besides this change your mindset.
Realize that you ain't in this world by yourself and it's somebody that cares about you.
Okay. Sub to pro.
Be
Sub?
honest.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
No, I was making sure that I turned off the mute before I started talking. But I had to be completely bluntly honest with myself, and I had to make a world where no matter when I was right in my actions, thought process, and how I carried myself, I have to pretend that I live in a world where everything that goes wrong is my fault. After I was totally honest with myself, I was able to see where my responsibilities lie. After I took away all blame from anything outside of me, I empowered myself. I stopped looking for excuses. I stopped complaining. I stopped people pleasing as much. I stopped reaching for association and comfort outside myself. I started being knowledgeable and aware of self. So, if you have an addiction, first, be honest. Because even in AA, if you don't admit that you have a problem. You don't. You will never tell yourself that. I wanted something different than what I was doing. So I had to say, this is one of the things keeping me from where I want to go. And I tried different ways to make it make sense. Let me slow down. Let me only drink on the weekends. Let me only drink if I got this much money. Let me only drink after 5 o'clock. And it's no, now you got to stop. So I had to be completely bluntly honest. Secondly, I had to act like, even in violation or backstabbing, that in some kind of way I brought that on myself. After I did that, it made me more, for lack of better words, Jesus like. So that even my most hated enemy, I mean, like, I had that coming. I don't think nobody is really about that life. It's going to take a lot of work for you to look at somebody in the eye that is blatantly lying on you to your face and not want to slap dog shit out of them. But once you can know and be comfortable with yourself and know that I know the truth, I know who I am, I love who I am, there is nothing out here that can fuck with me. Those things stop mattering as much. They don't take you away from your purpose. They don't stop you from helping and protecting and showing the light to the darkness that this world tries to say is taking it over. Be honest with you and don't victimize yourself by taking, oh, if it wasn't for my parents stunting my growth, if it wasn't for the man always keeping me down, always trying to trap me, always trying to keep my people fucked up. If it wasn't for these bitches, it's always something. It ain't never you. When I
Henry?
said it's
Oh,
all me, I control that. So I don't care if I got 99 problems. A bitch ain't one.
Henry. So what do you have to tell somebody?
Assuming that they've came to me and they want to remove some kind of habit, some kind of bad habit in their life. Um, that's important. I've learned doing peer support since shortly after 2016 that we got to be really careful about what we particularly say to people in these circumstances and be really on point about active listening. And based on their body language and how they're talking to me and everything, I would be either direct or blunt based on how their persona is. But always trying to be caring and baseline that you have options. You know, you don't have to stick to any one path, and it's hard to break habits. But one of the best ways is accepting that for yourself, taking steps to remove the habit, and then being active with anybody trying to who's going to support you putting a habit, which 9 times out of 10 your peers are going to do. I think the most important part though is just really reading people's body language and understanding how they want to communicate with you. A lot of people don't have an inner monologue. It's a scary thought. And someone here might not have one. I have a very loud one. It narrates everything. But not everybody does, so you got to pay attention to things like that. And I'll finish off by saying that I think social media, although it has kind of distanced ourselves in a way, I've seen a rise in people really acting on the 12 step of recovery programs, sharing their experience, strength, and hope with people. And I think that social media can also be a huge benefit here in curbing the fight against addiction, bad habits, or just overall being good to yourself and others. So, reach out and just be receptive if you're being reached out to. It's not permanent. Habits aren't permanent. You can change.
So, and for me, I realized that you have to remove your ego from it. You have to take your feelings and put them aside and realize, would you like it if it was done to you? Would you like it if someone did exactly what you're doing to them, to you? So take your ego out of the side and start looking at where they're coming from. Take yourself out of your shoes and put it in somebody else's shoes and see how it feels, what they're seeing. Stop feeling attacked, because that's the number one thing. When you feel like someone's coming at you, you feel like you have to defend yourself. Then you're not able to receive because you're too busy trying to fight. So take that. Stop feeling like you're being attacked. Take your ego out of it and realize, would you like it if it was done to you, whatever you're doing? And then you go at it honestly. Was your intent there? Was your heart pure? Were you trying to maliciously offend somebody or attack them or whatnot? Or did you do it honestly by the fact of that you knew no better? Because sometimes ignorance is a number one reason why people do things, because they didn't know no better. They were using belief systems that were taught to them, or they were using guidelines that weren't accurate. So I say confront yourself and then confront others and ask them where they're coming from. And if you don't receive what they're saying, ask them to explain it to you in another way that you can receive it. Because sometimes it's just a communication error.
Or something not something like that. Getting the podcast.
But yeah, so on this show, I don't want to tell people what to do, because it's none of our business to tell somebody what they should be doing. We just want to give you other ways of looking at things, other ways of seeing that you're not alone, and that we all have something that we're dealing with. And I found it easier when I found somebody else dealing with something too, that I could go to them and say, hey, I'm struggling right now. That made me, look at it differently. Like they said earlier about going to the doctors. I worked in the medical field for over 20 years. Compliance was the number one reason why people's medications and whatnot, didn't work for them, because they weren't compliant in the steps of using them. And then they weren't honest with why they were using them. So compliance and honesty. That's what I feel. Anybody have anything?
Hey, that was deep. I don't even know if y'all caught the deepness of that, man, but that was deep, yo.
No, that's why you was talking, and I had my mic on mute, and I'm glad that I had my mic on mute, because even though it was in agreement with what you were saying, by me not being able to cut you off, I wasn't the thorough message was carried out. And once again, like you said at the beginning, as long as defined specifications are said clearly, I think the lines for communication is always open. So a lot of us, like, even when we are listening and receiving everything that's being said, we still like, ooh, yeah, I feel it. And I'm like, nah, like she said it, like for real. And it's a lot of stuff that you said, and Maurice didn't get to say everything he wanted to say, but when he spoke, that shit hit and resonated. And Henry, you said a lot of shit that I didn't need to say, or I really needed to hear that shit. So so many people is just waiting for their turn to talk, and they want that attention, and they want to know that yes, I'm alive, and I do have an importance, and I do have things that you can connect with me. But if you allow yourself to just let people be, you can see and feel how you connect with them, and you don't have to say what you're going through, and you don't have to
Yes.
make it about you, especially if you don't know all the time how to express yourself. If you feel a lack of trust or a lack of comfortability being honest, you can let other people's honesty be your bravery sometimes. So like I love everything that y'all said on this panel today. It all helped me. It was all very useful, and I really appreciate everything that y'all said.
So I want to touch base real quick with one thing. Every single person here is an artist. I just want you all to know that. Every single person here is an artist. And I appreciate everybody, like 75 to 85% of people in my life are artists. I'm not one, but all you guys are artists. So Henry, what kind of music do you do and where can people find you at? And you know, if they're gonna label you as what kind of music, what would it be?
Acid folk. I guess folk rock.
What'd you call it?
Acid folk.
Acid
You
folk.
called it what?
Acid
folk.
folk.
I'm not sure if I came up with that, but I feel that's the best way to describe my.
Oh,
Acid.
so it's like folk music, but it's like
With somebody on
folk.
acid.
Gotcha.
Like
Okay,
when I did a lot of mescaline.
Well, I think that's already been an underlying theme. It would basically be like hippie music. Sometimes stuff like Tracy Chapman Fast Car would fall under this shit, where you just telling a true story, and it don't have to resonate or be more important than anything, but just by the fact that you being that bluntly honest about a section of life that don't mean nothing to nobody. It's like, dog, that's dope as fuck.
Where
And
can they find you at, Henry? Where do they find you at?
I'm still working on getting myself some MP3s. I'm way behind on technology. You can find me playing my shit live on Facebook, and I have decent recordings. However, I got this laptop I'm working off of right now, so things might be looking up in the future.
And where else do you play it live at, Henry?
I turned you down last time, but
You turned me down many times. I'm not your type.
you big silly goose. You want me to play a song?
In a minute. Oh no, go ahead. You might as well. Just go ahead. You're in the moment. Do it.
You're in the moment. I can. I will do it for
that
you.
was a good one. That was a good one.
Because I have one that'll work.
Yeah, that had me weak. I was dying.
Still.
Well, this song is called Shoulder. It's about habits.
Okay.
I wanna do the thing, but don't wanna do the thing. My mind's spread in the stir and suffering. Even my higher power thinks I'm getting soft, and when I face plant at the bottom, that's when they get their rocks off. Your angel's getting stoned and you're out here all alone, and you see them looking at you saying, go sell your halo. Your angel sitting on your shoulder getting high, and the devil on the other one's looking like a nice guy. Oh no, no, this is not oh well. Augmented reality, another last breath. The hero's journey always ends in ego death. A divine comedy from cradle to the grave. Oh, I wonder if Socrates ever felt this deep brave. Your angel's getting stoned and you're out here all alone, and you see them looking at you saying, go say hello. Your angel's sitting on your shoulder getting high, and the devil on the other one's looking like a nice guy. Oh no, oh no, oh no, this is not for well. Oh, there you go.
All right.
Hey, that was dope.
All right, Yuri. Where can they find you at, and what kind of music you do, and like, you know? Yuri Mandave.
Oh no, audio.
1 minute.
Okay, here we go. My bad, my bad. I was over here blown away, bro. Got me over here trying to get it together. Hey, Henry, hold
That's what
on,
I.
Henry,
That's
hold
what I
on,
was
dog.
like. I was
Hey,
like,
that
I
was
think
dope,
Henry
man.
just
Hey,
Henry mind melted that dude. That's some School of Rock
hey,
shit.
Henry just crashed my system over here, dog. Henry crashed my system. Everything started shaking and glitching out. I'm playing. Nah, that was
That's
dope, bro.
fucking awesome.
Like real talk, that was legit, man. And I can your lyrics were so like there. It's not just you're telling the story. You actually put imagery in there. You actually put like your wordplay actually is artistic, and I can hear the technicality behind it. I'm like, yo, no, he's actually an artist. He's actually out here. Like Henry, I was extremely impressed, dog. Extremely impressed. Like real talk.
Henry's
I'm
my
down.
son. I wouldn't lie about it.
He had me going.
I
You
I
say
use
what?
delirium.
I said Henry's my son. I wouldn't lie about it. Henry for real is a real good artist. He's my opener every event I've ever been to.
I'm not gonna listen to him no more
Yes,
because every
I
time
see
I
why.
hear him, it feel like I owe him money. Like
We're gonna get the
like dog, you can't
He
do
said,
that shit for. After I heard the Joker say it, it makes like if you good at something, never do it for free. Everybody who heard you and they didn't pay you, they owe you money.
easy money
Whatever.
right now,
Like dog,
right now,
just say
man.
okay. Remember that time when I was chilling in your living
What's your
room and
stage
I
name?
played for about 45 to an hour? Let's just say you owe me $78. That was close front row seat. I played
He
with no
said
breaks.
78.
Just $78. That a front row seat usually go for 550, so you're getting down. Like consider yourself blessed. I don't make personal appearances, so yeah, just that all them times at any campfire I ever played at ever, the going rate is $1,000. If I play for more than 2 hours, it's 50,000 extra every 5 minutes after I play for the first two. Like, dog, that's how talented you is.
I could be playing naked right now. I wouldn't be blushing like this. That's
Henry. What's your stage name?
my stage name is Henry Shule.
Henry Schul.
I'm the Henry Shule Show.
All right, Yuri. Where do we find you at, and what's your name?
And Henry, I don't know if all the other fellas can, come behind you. That was impressive right there, fella. That was impressive. But yeah, Yuri Mondavi, artist, co-founder of Crowns of Opus Productions. You can find me on all platforms: Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, anything that playing music, YouTube, all that. Eventually have the website coming out here soon. Getting the LLC and some bending things together so we can, make some bigger moves or whatnot. Been doing it for a while, since 2016. I just sent Kim over some music off the most recent album. She might already have it, but if she has it, just give her some time. You feel me? She'll play it. If not, it's cool. Yeah, y'all can find me anywhere. The type of music that I do, it's been progressive in the sense of like my growth. So I started off at first, you feel me, doing because I'm an urban artist, so or I was an urban artist, so I was doing music that had cussing in it every once in a while. Sometimes I'll talk about, just regular club type stuff, just entertainment, general entertainment that most people listen to, mainstream type stuff. Now here moving forward here recently, I've honed in on my craft and who I believe I am. And now I believe that my music, my style of music is more conscious and or even Christian rap. So because I bring up God often, but it's not the stereotypical stigma of Christianity thing. Now I'm only called a Christian because I believe that Christ is God. So that's just me personally. If anybody else disagrees and stuff, that's fine. We can have a conversation about it later. This ain't for that. But my music, it'll speak for itself, man. It's legit. It's genuine. It's not corny. I believe I sound like a legit artist myself. You know, so that's why, you know, it takes one to know one. Henry, salute you. You know what I mean? You feel me? So if I don't know if you've ever heard my music play with Kim, but yeah, if we, you know, if she can get it going, that'd be straight. You know, if not,
I can't. My
platforms.
phone memory's at max capacity. I can't download not even a picture.
That's fine. That's fine. I wonder if I tried to stream it on one of my audiences, if I could real quick do it, but I think that'd be doing too much. We don't gotta do all that. But yeah, if you guys ever want to check me out, it's the name down there at the on the bottom of the screen right there underneath me. Yuri Mondavi. That's YURRIMONDAVI. Yuri Mondavi. And I'm right now from this point moving forward, I'm gonna do mainly cautious type rap. We'll call it like that. So I'm like J. Cole, but you'll probably hear me talk about God a little bit more than J. Cole. So.
And if you guys want to catch him on Twisted Radio, because I play him all the time. So,
boom, with the drops from the Twisted Radio. Y'all better tap in and stop lacking. What you talking about?
We can put them in the comments too. You can always type your stuff in the comments, so when people find their podcast, they'll find your link too.
Yeah, that's true. You can do it in the comments right now.
You know what? Ha. All
right, Chili Mo, you haven't done music in a minute.
Page, right?
Yeah, but I was gonna say you can find me at Mr. Chili Cool 1000. That's on IG. So to anyone that's listening, I'm a person that you need to know. I'm a man with many hats, and I'm definitely a creator. I'm a brother. I'm a friend. I'm a father, and I'm just a person that's full of love. No Diddy.
Go to he said no Diddy. Go to more and then post comments. He said no Diddy. And he's also an Aries. Him and Sub the Pro share the same birthday.
Sub's dying.
All right, Sub the Pro.
I don't think people understand how like funny that really was, because Diddy called himself Love and his last album was like Love. So him saying that he full of love, no Diddy, was like a double entendre. That shit fucking funny as hell. But
put your link in the comments, Chili Mo. Put your link in the comment. Go to more and then go to comment.
I'm Sub the Pro on everything. My OnlyFans got took down for being way too fucking nasty. So y'all gonna have to go to my website, www.subthepro313.com. All dirty dick shit. Like it's nasty as fuck. Like it's horrible. It should not be on the internet. It is very fucking graphic and ugly.
Jesus.
Oh, it's the
Save me.
worst shit on the internet. Like I'm lucky they let my music on Spotify or Apple, or like I'm expected to be took down off of YouTube any minute now. They banned my reel from Instagram for our new single On Vinyl. That's me and Titty Boy Nate. Our EP, Where There's Smoke. It came out March 19th. That's spinning right now. We just got a video for that on vinyl on YouTube. Like I said, you better go watch it, because it ain't no telling how long the internet's gonna keep my black ass on that bitch, because I'm nasty and disrespectful as fuck. So go ahead and hurry up and watch that. You got about, I guess, a good week before they be like, yeah, we got to get this dude out of here.
I wasn't expecting none of that. I wasn't expecting you to say none of that. That was too funny. Look, I feel like looking it up now. I want to hear what you're talking about. So I don't know why I'm not tech savvy. Don't judge me. I know I do music and I'm not tech savvy. That's so terrible. But I went ahead and at least put the YouTube page in our private chat. So if you're on the private chat, we can link up through the private chat. You feel me?
Bro, I fucking suck with computers. If it wasn't for computers,
bruh. we're showing our age, bro. We're showing our age.
Remember hamster dance?
Oh, for these young whippersnappers out here.
Back in my day,
Right,
used to
right,
go
right.
uphill in the snow both ways.
To the block.
Dog, gotta get the hell online to me, man. Like, dog, everything was tough. Everything was extremely overly hard and tough for no reason back in the day. Like, somebody lied.
It don't even snow no more. What are they lying?
We can't lie to our kids anyway, man. Y'all
Global
grandpa
warming.
was tripping.
That's terrible.
Grandpa was bugging. It ain't no such thing as snow. What y'all mean?
Glitch.
Chili Mo, you have to put your information in the comment.
I think he did. I
I
seen
think
him.
I think I
He
did.
put
I'm
his
gonna have to.
IG in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do part.
Unseen Twisted Truth. Oh,
I'm about to look. I'm about to tap in with everybody right now. I'm tapping in with everybody.
Like I
Oh,
said, I don't know. I don't know how much
Chili
longer
cool,
I'll
right?
be up there.
Yeah,
Look,
pretty cool.
I
That's
had
all.
to after all these things that's been happening on the internet. I was like, look, I had to get sexy out here, so it's ugly on my page. Y'all might want to go hurry up and check that out before they shut me down.
that's just
Yeah.
I sent your video. I sent your video to the review thing yesterday where they having people do things at the Legends beat thing, and they played your video and they listened to the beat of it because you made the beat to it. So they played your video on there.
Man, they tell them at the Legends to be careful playing that nasty ass music in the juke joint. Don't do it. They're a respectable site. They don't need these problems, man. Like, dog, you play it one time and then hurry up and erase that pod. Like, get it off your screen, get it off your shit. I'm just trying to save y'all from the disrespect and the debauchery that's on our Where There's Smokey P. Drop
No,
319. It's
I done pulled
nasty.
up the website and everything. I'm about to pull them up.
Look, it's bad for your kids. Don't
It's
do it.
bad for your kids.
It's horrible. It is absolutely dreadful.
it could become habitual.
It could become a habit.
I don't even know if it's a habit or an addiction. It's bad. It's the bad one. Whichever one worse to you is
It's
that
the
one.
bad one.
It's
It's,
the I stay out. Wait.
it's the dirty.
It's the
It's
bad one. That's too funny.
it's the dirty.
I want to play it so bad. I don't have it downloaded no more. Man, I want to play it so bad.
My page got
Man,
sexually
and if I
transmitted
would have
diseases. Do
went ahead
not
and
go to if you go to my website, your phone will catch chlamydia. Like I swear to God,
Get tested.
dang,
it's
dang.
it's we trying to be
Yeah, I
that
got
nasty for the summer.
nah. Look, that's why do I want to see the? I want the filthy stuff. Give me the filthy stuff.
I'm doing Hot Girl Summer all over Facebook. All over.
Look, that all over like Leslie Chow all over Facebook. They're going all over Facebook. Like the money shot all over Facebook. I don't think Meta ready for all that shit. All over your
Nobody's
face.
using their iPhone. They can do split screen.
I mean,
That's what I was about to say,
I
man.
could. I
If
just
I
don't
share
want
it,
you.
if I stream this off of my destination,
Then a whole bunch of
go
government
ahead. Because
people
look, I was
just
about to
gonna
say if
come to your house. I'm trying to keep shit real PG on Untested Truths. If you wanna play that shit and have like a whole bunch of people in black take your computer and shit out your house, that's on you. Cause I'm trying to be safe on Unseen Twisted Truths and just
I can't
keep
do
it.
it here. I don't have a split screen, or I would.
I don't want to do it to you. I want the progression of this show to keep flourishing. I don't want it to be damaged by the most
he said we're gonna get
disrespectful.
flagged.
It's horrible. It's gonna be is threatening. Is don't do it.
It is not
Don't.
threatening. I played it on my show plenty of times.
And yeah, you got away with it because it was new. and like for real, nah, I talk too much already. Don't play it. Nobody. Don't go look at it. It's very fucked up.
I'm gonna look at it.
Save yourself. Save the kid.
Phone space is done.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm listening to some of that little snippet right there on the web page. All right. Yeah, you got some little thump on it. I see you. I see you, sub.
I think I can actually play that. Hold on. I think I can play that. Hold on.
Oh shit. Lord, I tried to
Yeah,
stop him.
off the website. Yeah, so
No, I can do this right here. I can do
yeah.
this right here.
Forgive them,
Because
Father,
I got this already. So hold on. I can do this.
for they know
It's
not what they
loaded.
do.
Forgive the Father, for they know not what they do.
They have played the devil's music.
You're not.
I
hey,
remember.
I don't know what I was just listening to. Hey,
We put his block on vinyl. Get him washed, put him on spin psycho. Whoa, my niggas get psycho. Killed a nigga on Myers named Michael. So many hits, little cuz went viral. He never played with y'all psycho. Fuck, I look like I don't want a wife hoe. Cause she ain't sucking dick, good night hoe. Keep something on tuck for the rivals. You the type that buzz with your eyes closed. Remember I used to be a wino? I ain't go down with that shit. Dido. Not a wise guy, but I'm wise though. I ordered a burger with fries, ho. What's an entree? Ain't nothing on the side, ho. See a shante in the vest, you need a ride, ho. We can get it poppin' in the ride, ho. We can get it hotter than July, ho. The way she fucking blew me, Chicago. Fucking made a movie, it's Bravo. She let me put meat in a taco. G-spot hit it like the lotto. I wonder if she get it from a Miami. Or did she get it in Miami? Shot and miss, but at least he tried. That man's been around late 3 times.
Hold on.
I
Can I
like
get my
that.
freestyle play
I wonder
off
did
of
she get
TikTok?
it
I
from her.
feel some type of
I
way.
wonder did she get it from her mammy.
Can I get my
Where did she
freestyle
get
play?
it in Miami?
I
Kimberly
can get
Verdigan.
it
Can
in
I get my
Miami.
TikTok play?
How do I give you a TikTok play?
Go to my TikTok and pull it up now.
How?
It's a fucking banger stuff. I can't lie. Fuck.
I don't have that's I've had that on my thing. I can't download no more things. Let me see what I gotta use though.
I was sleeping
No,
on
I'm
you,
just
sub.
talking. I'm just talking. You ain't gotta do all that.
You 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 woke me up, sub.
It's all year. Is
I can't
all
hear you. I can't
fucking.
hear you.
It's all year. It's all bad. Like it's all bad. It's all bad.
Hey,
This year,
Sub, you know they got a skate rink out here on Hall Road. You should think about performing, man. They drink and skate, and they have performers there. I'm gonna get some info and try to put you in that algorithm, man, because I think that type of music is good for that energy. A nice skate party.
sir, sir, I
Great
appreciate
energy.
you. I thank you. I think that you picked up on what I'm putting down. So like, yeah, because it is. It's skate music in a new way. I'm gonna try to, and it's not. I haven't. I reinvented the wheel basically. Like people been skating. People been like. I think we all know what disco is. I think we all know what the '80s was, and like. Um. I just put a new little thing on it, put some more bass on it, put a little attitude. Like I said, it's a whole lot of disrespect on that shit. So yeah, like the kids, I want them to get back into that mode. I was never a good skater myself, but the whole culture, just like maybe bowling or something like that, that was popular or something to do back in the day, that art is dying now. So Luckily, you see Usher with Reels doing skating, and he got JD, and he got his uncle that's getting older that helped him get into the music biz. Somebody that looked over his career throughout his whole career is he helping Unc get around the skating rink now. So yeah, it's still here, and it's still much very a part of the culture. It's just not as big as it once was. So um, just to get the kids back out here and get them on some skates and had the old heads get back out there and show them how they used to do it. Yeah, I think there's music for that.
Check. Fuck it. Let's see it.
Where y'all at? Where y'all? What city state y'all in?
I'm in Detroit, so Titty Boy Nate, he in the Yak or just around that area. I'm trying to take this album because if you like that song, the basis of the album is all around that. You can skate to every song on this album. They have varying tempos, but the tempos are basically upbeat. Um, so uh he got we both are known in Flint. We both got reach all the way out to Saginaw and past that. Even to the places that I'm familiar with, but not familiar with me, like a Kalamazoo or Grand Rapids. I want to take this to every city in Michigan. Um, I'm from like I said, I'm from Detroit myself, but I'm not one of them that's like fuck the Yak and fuck Flint. I fuck around with both of them cities. And he from the Yak and he worked in Flint and he's in Detroit at least every other weekend, if not more than that. So yeah, we taking this everywhere, and I lived right down the street from Skateland on the east side, Royal Skateland on off of Warren and Alta Road. So like any place that's skating, and that's a good location right there because that's like right between Oakland and Macomb County. That's a good draw right there. So if you could shoot that information, I'll really appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my research, even if we got to create it together, because I think the
Look,
vibe of it.
look, look, it's up, cause like I'm not one of them waiting on opportunities that we could create. And if I gotta get off an opportunity off you, then I gotta look out for the person that created the opportunity. If I'm creating the opportunity, then I'm looking out for myself and everybody involved. So there we go.
For sure. Say less. Hey, Sub, let me be the first to say, man, you need to think about writing a book, bro. Your philosophies are definitely intriguing. I think all of us can really get away with writing a book. All of us can.
That's the thing, Mo. Like I would, as much as I am doing that is process. Like if I start writing a book right now, it's always gonna be some re-edits up until it's not gonna be finished right now. It's not a good time for it. Like I'm gonna have to live a little bit more and say, up until this point, I think I've done just about everything I came to do. After this next 5 to 10 years of my life, I'll be able to write a book. Right now, I feel like I'll be doing so many re-edits for the next 2 to 5 years alone. Like I'm gonna be doing shit in the next 6 months that I would have to add to the book. So why start writing it now? And then like 6 months from now, when those things are accomplished, something that I'm not even aware of is gonna happen. That's gonna be in the book too. So I'm not gonna keep extending the length of the book. I'm gonna cover a base of time and be like, hey, I don't know where we going after this, but if I died today, I'll really be able to say that I did what I came here to do. I can't really say that yet.
That's respect. When the time is right, you'll know. I feel that.
Yeah, but I'm definitely am writing a book. The whole thing is just like you said, everybody got a story. And even if you don't know how to put it in words to tell it, it might not be words that need to be told in. Like Michael Jordan's story was told with basketball. Michael Jackson's story was told with entertainment. So I mean, we know about Joe Jackson. We know about his brothers and his sisters and shit, but all you have to do is look at his music and you'll know everything you need to know about him after that. And that's anybody that do anything great. If you want to find out about Steph Curry, start looking at what he does great. And that's what I think we should do with people, period. Like, I'm not gonna look at you trip and be like, that's him, the tripper. That's what he does is fuck up and fall. Like, nah, nigga, like I ain't looking at the worst thing you ever did and making that all you ever do with your life. And if I'm going to look at one thing you did and try to up that or make people recognize this is who you are, I would want it to be in the best light. I'm not gonna come to your funeral talking about how you failed. I'm gonna talk about your triumphs.
I can appreciate that.
Should write a book, so.
I'm on it, Henry. Like you already
Y'all done
know.
made
Like,
Henry pull out the skate.
like no, I'm saying, like, even in the video, like the skateboarders are neglected, and Lupe Fiasco expressed that in Kick Push. I did not realize how dope you gotta be mentally to take the drug game and compare it to how skateboarders get treated.
Like shit.
Everywhere you go, you are looked at like an outcast just for wanting to survive. Skateboarding, that's their livelihood. All they was looking for was empty pools. Ain't no skating here. Parking lot, no skating here. A state as big as California, y'all won't build a skate park, but y'all tell them where they can't skate.
And you know what?
That's
Even if you
what
fall
the-
and break your arm skateboarding, it's still a positive habit for you. It's a good thing to do.
T.I. told his son when King wanted to skateboard, he took him to a professional skateboarder, and the skateboarder told him, "You're not ever gonna be good at skating until you embrace the fact that you are going to fall." Tony Hawk failed I don't know how many times trying to perfect the fucking shit he did. How many tricks did he invent? Jordan got I don't know how many turnovers. How many times did he do something epic that I don't care about how many times you got stole from or accidentally let the ball go out of bounds or pass to the wrong person? I'm not gonna look at what you did wrong more than what you did right. Ever.
Facts.
At that point, it's one thing to try to keep you humble, and even then, I'm not gonna dim your light. I'm not gonna point out your flaws. Oh, you still human. Remember that one time you fucked up? No, that's not what we're doing. If anything, I'm be like, remember that one time you fucked up? Now let's try not to let that shit happen no more because you at this level and shit like this can't happen no more. I'm that tight. I'm not, let's get in front of every ad so I feel good. Fuck that.
Alrighty then, so we're about to wrap this up, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. Like, share, show some support. Next time you want to hop on. Everybody be a part of something.
I really
We are the People's
appreciated
Podcast.
everything. I appreciated everybody and everything that was said on this. Y'all have a good night. Namaste.
May everybody's night be full of positive energy and high vibrations.
Yeah.
Ashe, everyone.
Yes, I appreciate y'all having me out here, man. I love y'all. You have a blessed night, and I will be back. Let's get it.
Yay.